There comes a moment when you walk into a room and feel it. Every eye watching, every silence waiting, every energy colliding. In that moment, the question is not who you are. The question is, did you come prepared to outwork every single soul in that room? People see the spotlight, the fame, the victories, but they never see the hours spent in the dark, grinding when no one is watching. They don't see the sacrifices, the failures, the doubts that almost broke you. And yet, that's where the real story lives. This isn't about being stronger or smarter. It's about carrying a fire so relentless that it makes quitting impossible. Today, we're going to uncover the rule that turned struggle into legacy. The rule that separated Dwayne from the rest. The golden rule: be the hardest worker in the room.
Lesson 1 begins here, the silent hours. There's something sacred about the hours when the world is still asleep. The streets are quiet, the lights are dim. Everyone else is resting, but you're not. You're awake. Somewhere between exhaustion and obsession, chasing something that no one else can see but you. Those are the hours no one talks about. The hours when you feel the weight of every decision you've made. When your mind whispers, "Why are you doing this?" When your body aches, your spirit trembles, and everything inside you screams to stop. But you don't. You stay. You push. Because deep down you know, this is where greatness is born. Let me tell you something most people never understand. Success doesn't announce itself with trumpets and applause. It doesn't show up when the cameras are rolling or when the crowd is cheering your name. It's built quietly, in the unseen, forgotten corners of your life. The silent hours. Those are the real battlegrounds. When the world sleeps, you wrestle your own limits. You fight your own weakness. You learn to be alone with your thoughts, your doubts, your fears. And that's when you start to change. That's when you start to hear your own voice clearly, without the noise of the world drowning it out. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when Dwayne Johnson had nothing. No spotlight, no money, no fame. Just a man waking up before sunrise, lifting weights in a broken down gym, trying to build something out of pain. No cameras, no followers, just sweat and silence. Those mornings didn't make headlines, but they made him. Because it's in the silence that you decide who you are. Not when people praise you, not when you're winning, but when no one is watching, and you still choose to show up. That's the difference between someone who wants it and someone who needs it. In those early hours, you learn discipline, you learn patience, you learn that hard work isn't always glamorous. It's repetitive, lonely, and invisible. But that's exactly why it matters. Because when the lights finally hit you, when the world finally sees what you've become, they'll think it happened overnight. They'll never see the mornings you bled for it. They'll never know the price you paid in silence. And maybe that's the point. Maybe you're not supposed to be seen yet. Maybe the silence is your training ground, your preparation for something bigger than you can imagine. You see, the loudest noise in life doesn't come from applause. It comes from the quiet confidence that grows when you've kept promises to yourself. When you've worked through pain, through fatigue, through doubt, and no one had to remind you why. So when you wake up tomorrow and it's dark and cold and the bed feels too comfortable, remember this. Those silent hours are the real test. That's where your future is being shaped. That's where your name is being written, not in lights, but in effort. Because the world might celebrate you under the spotlight, but who you really are, that's built long before the lights ever find you. And if you can learn to love those silent hours, to breathe in that loneliness, to trust that unseen work, then one day the noise will come, the applause will come, the recognition will come, but none of it will ever compare to the peace of knowing you became who you are when no one was watching. Now, here's lesson number 2. Sacrifice is the currency. There's a point in your journey when the dream starts to cost you something real. It's no longer about motivation or hype. It's about choice. You begin to realize that to rise higher, you must leave parts of yourself behind. The comfortable parts, the easy parts, the parts that once kept you safe. That's what sacrifice really is. It's not glamorous. It's not the highlight reel people see online. It's quiet, brutal, and deeply personal. It's saying no to what feels good now so you can become someone who will feel proud later. Let me tell you something. Everyone wants to win, but very few want to pay the price. They want the body without the discipline, the success without the struggle, the dream without the trade-offs.
But life doesn't work that way. Every step forward demands something from you. It's a transaction. You pay for growth with the things that once defined your comfort. Let me tell you a story. When Dwayne Johnson was broke, living in his parents' small apartment after being cut from football, he could have stayed down. He could have blamed life or luck or circumstance. But instead, he traded comfort for effort. He decided to give up who he was, the failed football player, to become who he could be, the Rock. That decision didn't come from confidence. It came from sacrifice. The kind of sacrifice that hurts before it heals. Because here's the truth. To become someone new, you must let go of someone old. The habits that numb you, the routines that keep you stuck, the people who don't see your worth, the comfort that slowly kills your hunger. You have to walk away from all of it, knowing damn well it'll hurt, but also knowing it's the only way forward. And in that process, you'll feel loss. You'll question yourself. You'll wonder if it's worth it. You'll watch others enjoy what you gave up. The parties, the sleep, the ease, while you grind in silence. But that's where transformation happens. That's where you're building something no one else can take away. Sacrifice is not punishment. It's preparation. Every time you give something up, you create space for something greater. You start replacing short-term pleasure with long-term pride. You start valuing purpose over comfort. You start becoming unrecognizable, not because of what you gain, but because of what you're willing to lose. And listen, you don't owe anyone an explanation for what you sacrifice. People will call you obsessed, distant, even cold. They won't understand why you disappear for months, why you stop saying yes to everything, why your priorities change. But that's okay, because you're not building a life they can understand. You're building one they'll remember. The truth is, success is expensive, not in money, in pieces of you. It will demand your time, your peace, your sleep, your comfort, your relationships. But what you get in return is something far more valuable. The ability to look in the mirror and say, I didn't cheat myself. Every legend you've ever admired made that same trade. Every great story begins with someone letting go of who they were so they could become who they were meant to be. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to rise? What are you still holding on to that's keeping you small? Because the truth is, you can't have it all. Not yet. Not until you pay the price. And when you finally decide to pay it, when you choose sacrifice over comfort, that's the day you stop chasing potential and start living it.
Lesson number 3 is outlasting the doubt. There will come a time when doubt becomes louder than your own heartbeat. When the dream that once felt clear begins to blur and you start asking yourself if you've been fooling everyone, including yourself. That's the part nobody warns you about. Not the failure, not the fatigue, the doubt. That quiet voice that doesn't yell but whispers just enough to make you question everything. You know that voice. It speaks when you're alone, when progress feels invisible, when no one claps for you anymore. It says things like, what if you're not good enough? Or maybe this isn't meant for you. And the worst part is, sometimes it sounds right, because doubt doesn't come from weakness. It comes from the same place as your hope. They're twins, born from the same fire. One wants to push you forward, the other wants to pull you back. Let me tell you something. Even the strongest people break when doubt starts winning. Dwayne Johnson did too. There was a time he stood in an empty arena questioning if anyone would ever care about him again. He'd failed in football, had no money, no stability, and the world wasn't waiting for him to rise. But he showed up anyway. He kept showing up, not because he believed he would win, but because he refused to quit. That's what outlasting doubt really means.
It's not about erasing fear or pretending to be confident. It's about standing in the middle of your uncertainty and saying, I'm not done yet. Because doubt isn't your enemy, it's your test. It's life's way of asking, do you still want this when no one believes you? You see, most people quit right before it happens. Not because they lack talent, but because they run out of belief. They expect clarity, but clarity doesn't come at the start. It's earned through repetition, through pain, through staying when every reason tells you to leave. Outlasting doubt is about endurance. It's about showing up on the days you hate everything you're doing, the days your work feels meaningless, the days the mirror reflects nothing but exhaustion. Those are the days that separate the dreamers from the doers. Because anyone can move forward when they feel strong, but only the relentless keep going when they don't. Let me tell you the truth. You won't always feel like you're winning. In fact, most of the time, you'll feel like you're losing. You'll see others move faster, achieve more, get praised while you stay unseen. But what you don't realize is that those invisible years, the years filled with doubt, are building a foundation no one can break. Because once you fought through doubt and kept going, there's nothing left that can stop you. The greatest power you'll ever hold is quiet persistence. It's that stubborn refusal to surrender. It's waking up every day and deciding that the voice of doubt doesn't get the final word. And one day, when you've stayed long enough, when you've endured every silence, every failure, every unanswered question, you'll look back and realize something powerful. Doubt didn't destroy you. It refined you. It made you sharper, tougher, unstoppable. Because in the end, greatness isn't about confidence. It's about endurance. It's not about believing every day. It's about continuing even when you don't. So when that voice of doubt comes again, and it will, don't fight it. Let it speak. Let it question you. Then smile and outlast it. Because that's what separates those who almost made it from those who actually do.